Yeah, hi, it's
All right.
this is
Yeah. Hey, hey, hi. Satya.
yeah, this is being Satyana. I have 4 years of experience in Tata Consult Services.
Mm-hmm.
Appian developer in 2 years of experience. Remaining in support, I am working.
Okay, okay.
Hmm.
All right.
Plan to shift to
Okay.
the Appian developer.
Okay, great. Thank you,
Hmm.
Satya.
Okay,
So,
thank
all
you.
right. Yeah, I mean, we have, good experience of people someone is very experienced, someone is like fresher. So it's kind of a good mixture of the group. And I would say, why would I say the group, a good mixture? Because experienced and freshers, they ask different kind of questions, and sometimes you don't know that who is going to be useful, right? Which one is going to be very useful for them. Sometimes people hesitate to ask questions, so it's a nice group that can ask for some good questions. All right, okay. So yes, what I need from you guys, for this training is that if you are going to continue, if you do the continuation right, I would like to tell you that please do hands-on, practice is very important. What I have learned from all my last batch is that the people who do the exercise daily, whatever we have discussed in the training, and if they do the hands-on at their home and they do the practice, they come up with the good questions and they learn well. Some people depends, on the videos that I'll watch later and I'll do that later. So don't do that, and this thing, and do the practice every day. All right. So before we start, anyone wants to tell me that what is an Appian, and any small things about Appian if you have heard of it, you know about it, you have heard from some of your friends, or anyone.
Low code platform.
Low code platform, that's correct. What else?
So Appian is a low-code platform which is used for
Mm,
building enterprise-grade applications and
right.
in a very efficient and very time-saving manner. So the
Mm,
projects which are built on other programming languages, they might take months to build, but using
right.
Appian, you can build it in say 1 week or so.
Right.
That's where
Right.
it comes handy.
Yeah, that's correct. That's 100% correct. Okay. So what is this? Is this a programming language, or is this some kind of set of
It's a
activities
business
or tool?
process management tool.
Business process management tool. That's a nice. What is then business process management? Can anyone tell me? I mean, how do you define a business process management?
Yeah, or
Hmm?
automating any business process.
Yep, I would say partially true, but will you be automating everything? I mean, will you be learning automations from the beginning of the process? I mean, there
I
will
know
be
for
some manual, right?
yeah, I mean initially again you have to how can I say build the workflows
Right,
for
right,
the
right,
process.
right. Yeah, right. So, business process management, right? Three words, right? So, what is the meaning of the business here? Anyone can explain the business? In general, if you talk about the business, what's the business? Okay. So see, whatever requirement we receive from the clients, right? That's the business. Let's say, and I usually prefer this example with everyone because it's very nice, real-time example. If I ask you to, I need tea, so that's my requirement. The requirement is that I need tea, and you guys need to prepare the tea. So that's my business requirement. So the business that I have to do with the client is preparing the tea, and then comes the process, right? So process is how you are going to prepare those tea, right? There would be some process there where someone likes to switch on the gas stove and put some vessels on the gas, pour some milk, and then put some liquid, put some sugar, and then mix it, and then prepare the tea. There could be different process. Someone would like to pour the water first and then add some liquor to that, and then later they put some milk in that, right? So there could be different processes to achieve a task. So that depends based on the scenarios, based on your database size, or based on your requirement, how you are going to use which optimized process. So there could be different processes. So the process mainly says that how you will achieve your task. And then comes the management, right? So management, like whenever you pour the milk, right? You took the milk from some packet, and then later on you have to put the packet back to the some place. You use the sugar, right? And then again you have to put the sugar cane somewhere else, right? So you are managing the things as well. You are managing all those required data that is required to prepare the tea, right? So all those things that you are using it, right? You are managing that, and you are keeping back to the same place, right, where it came from, and then with the updated thing and all. So that's the management. So that is the business process management, where a client will give you the requirement. You need to take the steps to achieve it, and then you will also manage the data and all, right? So that's the business process management, and it's Appian is a tool. It's not a programming language, right? Then if I say if it's a tool, right, it's not a programming language, do we need to do the coding? Someone mentioned that it's a low code. And in the market, there's something also have no code. So what is the difference between no code and low code? Anyone? I mean, it's as the name suggests, right? It is giving some definition. And what's a no code and a low code? Sir, I'm so sorry. I'm not able to hear you. Not clear. I mean, it's not that clear. Mhm. Anyone can hear him? I can't.
No.
Yeah. Anyone wants to go next? I mean, tell me that what's the difference between no code and low code? Sorry, I'm not able to understand. You're saying,
Low code means little bit of code, I think.
right. Yeah, I mean that's the actual definition that you see. The low code will be that there will be some coding at least, right? And no
Yes.
code, there will be no code at all, right?
Yes,
Then
correct.
why business is if there is no code, then business, why they use the low code tool if there is a no code tool available in the market? Why someone would prefer to go with the low code?
So that they can customize their application.
Exactly, right, 100%. The low code tool allows the developers to customize the things. If the business says, I need my tea in a cup, you can do that. But in a no code tool, if they have designed that, they will give you the tea in maybe a glass, then you cannot change that to the cup. You cannot change the requirement. If they say that in my interface I have 5 fields, you need to use those 5 fields. You cannot have the other 6 fields. If the text are in the black color, you can't change to the red color. So the no code tool is a fixed thing. You just need to reuse it, and you cannot customize it, right? However, the low code tool allows you to make the customizations based on the business requirement. If they say that hey, I need this different image to be displayed, yes, it's possible. Hey, I need this font size to be this much size, okay, it's possible. So all those things that needs customization cannot be done in the no code, hence low code tool allows you to do all those things, and that's the key feature that business want over the low code. Okay. Right. So what kind of language Appian use? Because we are doing this low code, right? So we definitely will have to do some coding. So what kind of language it does? Is it like its own program language or
So it uses Sail programming language.
Sail programming? That's correct. So what's the Sail? The SAIL stands for self-assembled interface language, right? So is this like new programming language? We have everything like no. It's just like C or Java or very simple coding. If you see this example like if condition, right? Let's say if you have some value x equal to 5, then display yes or no. This is how you will write the if condition, right? And then so why it's very much similar to the Java? Because Appian tool itself is built on Java. So does it mean that we need to learn the Java language first? No, not at all. Okay. Do we need to learn the oops concept and all? No, not at all. Okay. It's because the tool is being developed in the Java, we don't need to learn the Java, right? Okay. And yeah, it's a kind of low code. So this is kind of coding we have. So you guys, if someone has used Java and all, right, maybe in your college, maybe in your earlier projects, right? So these are some functions. Let's say if you want to concatenate to text, right? So you use concat function. If you want to do merging, you use the merging function. If you have the loop, there are multiple loop functions. Same way, Appian also has multiple functions defined. So for their its purposes, if you want to use, you can use all those functions to achieve your task. Okay. So yes, you do not have to worry about that if that it's a coding and we need to do a lot of coding. Need a lot of coding, but yes, some coding so that you can do the requirement as a customized way, right? Right. Do you need to remember all those functions? No. Every function that has an Appian has is a descriptions given right away in the function, right? I think if you use Eclipse and all, right? If you click inside the parenthesis of the function name, it defines the functions, right? Same way in Appian also, it defines the every use of every functions. One more thing about Appian is that it's a drag and drop feature. So let's say if you want to design a text field in Java or Python, you need to write a code for that. But in Appian, you simply drag and drop the component from your design panel to the design library to the design panel. It will create an text field for you, and it will also generate some code behind that. And for every field function that we design, there is a function is defined in backend. So what we need to do, we need to do the customization. We need to do like configurations basically, right? What are where the value has to be saved, what value has to be saved, when it has to be rephrased, is there any validations? So all those configuration we will have to do, but we will not have to design the everything, every code. Okay. We'll see how the code will have and everything with some example. All right. Now this is an example, right? You see, if you want to design a text field, this is a function for designing a text field. You simply drag and drop, it will generate the code. We need to do the configuration, like where it has to, what is the value has to be displayed, where it has to be saved, any validations or not. All those things we can do that. Same way, if you want to design a drop-down field, so there's a function called even drop-down fields. So most of the functions that we use in Appian is kind of having the same name out of it. Okay. Right. Okay. Then what kind of application we create in Appian? Is there any questions, guys, before move on? Is that clear? If you have any questions, do stop me in between, okay? And ask me the questions. All right. So what kind of application we built in Appian then? Anyone?
It's for the users of the particular organization.
Right. So is it like possible? Can we build a site like IRCTC, or can we build a site like Amazon and all in Appian?
Mostly it is used for enterprise application.
Enterprise applications, that's correct. So I mean, we can create the IRCTC and all, right? But it will be very costly because the number of users can be in millions, and Appian is a costly tool. So it charges the client based on the number of unique users it has in the environment, and some other charges as well based on the data size you will take and all, right? But that's how it So what is an enterprise application? An example?
Internal
employee
application.
employee onboarding application.
Right. Like the employee onboarding application, like the account opening process, like the capturing the data for your some um, medicinal changes, if you are changing the labels or something, or maybe KYC process and all, right? So the applications that someone is going to use who works within the organization, it's not for the general public, okay? It's for the people who is with the company, right? Okay, that we also call the in-house applications, right? Yeah. Okay, that's what the basic thing about Appian. I will start sharing my uh, you know the presentation. Before that, any questions, guys?
Hi Ravi.
Yeah. Hi.
Notes you will provide or we need to create?
All right. So Appian has a very nice documentation given in the Appian committee. So if I prepare the notes, it will be a subset of that,
Okay.
right? So don't concentrate on the notes. I would say concentrate on the practicals. Okay. Yeah. Any other questions, guys?
Yeah, I have one question.
Mhm.
What you are saying that it is a low code and it is used for enterprise application, and we have an application called Pega, right? It is
Right.
also doing the same thing.
Yes,
Can
it's the
you
same thing.
can you say the difference between what is the main difference between both the things? Because Pega is also internal application where the employees are going to use, and right now the app you are saying that the app is also doing the same thing.
Right.
Then why we need to switch from Pega tools to Appian?
Right. Good questions. So why, and even companies are switching from Pega to Appian. I mean, I'm not saying all of them, but few of them definitely they are switching, and they have already switched from Pega to Appian. The reason behind is that the Appian gives you a very rich experience in terms of UI. It has a very nice colors. You can use images and graphs and everything, right? And that is also, I mean, that's not, I haven't used the Pega, but this is what makes Appian more, you know, in terms of customer friendly, because they can see the rich experience in the UI wise. Also, I know that Pega has different licensing. If you need to use some libraries, you have to buy the license for that. In Appian, everything comes under one license. Apart from the AI features, RPA features, but all the basic things that we have, it comes under one library. Okay. So costing wise also, it depends. Like if you in Pega, if you need to buy, you need to buy different licensing for everything. But in Appian, and it's just under one license. That's major thing that I know that making Appian is good compared to the Pega. And Appian is like kind of little faster than Pega, because uh, you can build the application like within days, and it also allow customer itself to do some development, not kind of development like writing the code and all, right? They can simply um
Drag and drop.
I mean, not drag and drop, they can write the requirement, and they, and if they want, Appian can build the kind of basic application for them. It's using the AI features, um, it can do all those things. They can simply write the descriptions in the proper user story format, acceptance criteria, like a kind of good prompt. This is my requirement, these are the different acceptance criteria, and when they can say generate, it can generate the application for them. So all those things makes Appian very good in terms in front of the customers use case.
Yeah, the Pega is also having a GenAI feature which you have described that stating that based on the description they provide the blueprint and all.
Right.
And coming to user interface also, it will have the, The recent Pega constellation is also having the same thing as I mentioned in the Appian.
Mm.
So that's why I'm asking because I am from
Yeah, maybe,
Pega
I mean,
background.
yeah, so maybe it's now enhancing, maybe, right? Because this is what we had in Appian, and then when I saw the Appian UI, personally, when I saw the Appian UI, it was far better than the Pega because of the customizations and then because of the kind of color coding you can use, number of columns you can have in Appian, right? So all these things makes better the Pega. So that's why customer likes the Appian most. And they many companies has already switched from Pega to Appian. Maybe not. That's the reason Pega is also enhancing. But this is what I know. So how does the Pega works with the third-party configuration? Let's say if you want to use the third-party data, what
Yeah, by using
configuration
the
you need to
external
do?
APIs and all, we can connect with the external database and all those things.
How complex is that to do, sir?
Yeah, it's a little bit different because based on the connect rest tools and all, by using the endpoint URLs of the website and all,
Right.
it will take
In
some time
Appian,
for the
yeah, in Appian,
configuration.
right. In Appian, you can do within the minutes. They have an API API objects. You need to provide the URL, if there is any authentication, and then that's done. You do not have to worry about the data structure, what's the size of the column, and how do we capture this, right? We can convert this easily back to the Appian value without writing a code. It's simple configurations. So yeah, I mean, there could be some things, right, where maybe the Pega could be best because Pega was the one of the best tool being used till I would say 2010 maybe, and 2011 maybe. After that, Appian has overtaken the Pega, and then become the number one BPM tool so far, right?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Ravi, I have one more question. So,
Mhm.
are we going to cover these points? I have pinged it in the chat, like your data fabrics, process HQ, agent studio, case management, and APN
Right.
composer. Are we going to cover these things in the class?
No. Why I say no? Because to understand all these concepts, you first need to understand how the Appian works. What's the basic development? A few of them that you mentioned, like data fabric. Data fabric is not a what I say, that data fabric is just like a concept. You know, it's not anything that you do the technical coding or something there, right? Data fabric is the concept, and the concept says that, like, if you have your data resides different places, if you have your data, let's say some data is at the SharePoint, some data is at your third-party database, and some data is some other places, maybe DocuSign somewhere. So data fabric concept says that you can connect all your data from different sources to one place at an Appian, make work use of it, make them updates, or maybe take the required input from them, and then you can again send back the data to um, their source places with the updated values. So that's the data fabric concept. Bring multiple data to different sources at one place and do all those kind of work. That's the data fabric. It's not like anything you need to do some technical there. You need to do technical in terms of how do you bring the data and how do you link it. That's a different thing. But this is a concept wise. When you talk about the agents, AI Studio, and RPA, or maybe the process HQ, all the process HQ is again is kind of what terminology that that how do I say, if you want to do some reporting on the process instances and everything, right, on your data. All those things is like kind of additional features of Appian, which you might be using but for that you need to first understand the Appian development, how it works, how the process model is being created, how the interface is being designed, how the you write a rule for any operations, how to use any functions of it, right? How do you generate some report, how do you generate some task, how do you create a sites? So if you don't understand all these basic things, there is no meaning of learning AI Studio and other stuffs, right? So this training is purely basically for the Appian basic development, where you can learn the core of your Appian things, and then once you learn this, then it will be easy for you, or it's good for you to understand, to learn all those additional features like AI and RPA. Okay,
Yeah,
and AI
got
and
it.
RPA are like kind of separate topics itself, which requires a good amount of time to discuss. So yeah, I mean that's not part of this training. This training is purely basically your base development for Appian. Okay.
Got it. Thank you.
Sure. And that's
Mm,
it's a good question because everyone get confused. Like, if I'm saying that I'm going to teach you Appian, it's been everything. No, it's not. And I want to be very clear on this because later on people may complain, right? That, hey, you said you were teaching Appian, but you didn't teach me the process HQ, you didn't teach me the AI Studio in our, right? Right. Thanks for the question. Yeah, please go ahead.
so
Someone's wants.
yeah, so integration and web API that will be covered.
Yeah, that will definitely be covered. That we will cover. And I'll tell you one more thing. The integration and API is a kind of a topic that people think it's a very huge topic, and it was a huge topic. I won't deny that during 20, I would say, 15, 16, right? It was a huge topic. Integration and API was a very tough task to do, but now it's a matter of minutes. But yes, we will be covering this API and integration definitely.
Yeah, okay.
Right? Okay. Thank you. And any more questions?
Here, Ravi, I have one question.
Mhm.
You told enterprise application. What is enterprise application?
Okay. So you go bank, right? You go to the bank? Have you gone to the bank?
Yeah,
Right? What purpose?
I'm not understanding properly. Can you give me another example?
Um, okay. Was it okay? Fine. Yeah. I mean, if you have a vehicle, then
Yeah, yeah.
you must have registered for it for some insurance and right. So, have you ever gone through the claim process? Have you ever claimed your insurance policy?
No, no.
Okay, fine. So whenever you fill the form for insurance, right, they need some details and all, right? So let's say, whenever you go out for claiming your insurance, you know what? Hey, my vehicle got damaged. I need an insurance. I had my insurance. I need a claim for that, right? Because it took some charges. It took some charges. So they will trace your things in the behind the scene, so that they will be uh, considering they will taking the images for your vehicle which has broken and they will be uploading to the system. They will be processing your request. They will be fetching your claim details and checking what are the claim, which claim you have taken, right? So all those work that particular person is doing, they are doing it for their company internally, their in-house applications, right? They are not using any third-party applications. They are not using applications like ICTC or Amazon and all, right? They are using the application which belongs to their company, right? When I was talking about the example of the bank, let's say if you have visited the bank for withdrawing some money, so you will hand over your filled form. They will be using some application behind the chair to see, to verify the account number, to verify the details of the customer, to verify the signature maybe, right? And they to verify, check the amount is available or not, right? So they are using some application behind the chair and then doing all those stuff. Those applications are called enterprise applications. Which company or which bank or maybe other things they use this for their own purpose for their employee, right? So those are the enterprise applications. When we say ICT as an enterprise applications, no, it's not. It's the public domain application, right? Everyone use it. So any application which is being used by the employees is a enterprise applications. Okay, is that clear?
Yeah, I have
Yeah.
one question.
Yeah.
The Appian is a intranet application or internet application?
It's an internet application because you can use. So there are two things. Application has two kind of versions. It has what do I say, on premise, and another one is called um, in public domain. So what the when I say on premise, it means that um, some companies like to secure their application too much. I mean, at a very high level, so they install their application on their server.
Okay.
Okay. And the other is like on cloud that the like let's say for example when we start development, right? So you will be signing in on the cloud versions, and Appian will be giving you some cloud versions to do the practice and all, right? So in that
Yeah.
case, you can use from your laptop. You do not have to install anything. You can use the cloud versions.
No, no. Actually, what my question is, can we access it? Is a public domain or it's a, not a public domain? It's a private one because Pega is an internet application. We cannot access because it's used by the employees, which is in the organization only.
Right.
Yeah, that's why I'm asking. Is Pega is
It's
also?
not a
I mean,
public. You
Appian is
cannot.
also a same or not?
Right. You cannot. It cannot be accessed by the public. But there is
Yeah.
something that Appian has introduced recently. That's called portals, where anyone can, without any credentials, they can use it. Okay,
Okay.
but they cannot access everything. It's just like they can use how do I say? Let's say if you want to trace the your postal services, right? If you want to trace where is your
Yeah.
parcel,
The tracking ID.
right? So Indian Post
Okay.
Service, right? So do you need a log credentials for that?
No, no. We just
No,
have
right?
some tracking
Right.
ID.
Tracking ID, but they
Yeah.
doesn't give you every details, right? If you go with that,
Yeah.
they can give you the some limited details to you, but not the everything, right?
Okay.
Just like the way Appian has also introduced some portal things where you can see the sites things, or maybe you can do some ratings, you can ask some questions, but you cannot access its internal data, like who's the employee, like how the employees are working and all, right? So yes,
Okay.
but it's not public domain. It's not fully available, right? You need to have a credential, right? And when we're talking about the on-premise and cloud versions, so some few companies are there who wants to install on their own server, so they use the on-premise version. But mostly, I would say 90+% customers are using the cloud versions now. The reason behind it, on-premise versions, Appian will not support the things. Once you install, um, you install it, right? And then you will have to responsible for the updates. You will have to responsible for everything. How if something is new feature is coming up, you have to do all those things. However, in the on cloud versions, Appian will take care of your upgrades. Then they will do the upgrades whenever it is definitely they will ask the time for with you, and the support will be available all the time. One benefit, I would say two benefits with the on-premise versions are, that let's say you have good people in your company for with Java or maybe Python, right? And you had such requirement for which the functions are not available into the Appian. Then you can you can design your own functions and you can install on your server and you can use it. It won't be available for others, right? Because it's on your server, right? So that is the one benefit that on-premise version gives you, that you can design your own function and you can use it. Okay. Another advantage of this is that on-premise it's very secure. It will be very secure because it's not on cloud. However, if you want to use any function in, let's say, some functions are not available in app, and if you want to have it in the cloud versions, you cannot install that on your cloud version. But there's a chance, there's a possibility that you can share your design functions with Appian. They will review it. They will review for the code quality, security, and everything. And everything looks okay. Then they can publish your function with your company's name on the server, and if anyone wants, they can download it and they can use it. Okay, so that you can do. So that's the difference between on-premise and cloud. Okay.
Okay.
All right. I mean, this slide will talk about the whatever things we discussed so far, right? I mean, it's a low code, why it's highly in demand with the customers, and many of the customers, and this Appian grows very big during the COVID time, because the medical teams, right, and the medical companies were trying to build this vaccinations. Everyone is, and Appian was the one tool which which gives them the what I say that in very less time they built an application for that, right? So by that time, lots of medical institutions, the healthcare domain, took this Appian as their first choice of application development. And by that time, a lot of companies hired a lot of Appian developer itself. Uh, Even though other company was, I mean, other roles was not in demand, but Appian people was still getting hired during that time. So yeah, it's very fast in terms of development. Yeah, as I said, the key features like it has a drag and drop features, it's BPM concept, RPA is also there, case management, decision rules, AIs, integration with external systems, all those things comes under one package. I think in Pega you might have to buy different licensing, but here it comes with the same. You just have to. Uh, there are three kinds of users: enterprise users, standard, or maybe a premium users, right? Based on that, they define the features that you can have it. You see, this is an example of the UI. You can simply drag on from your left side to the design panel, all those fields that you want. And one more thing is that Appian has one property called one feature called records, and which is very powerful, which can help you to design the UIs very quickly, and you can do the customization later based on your choice. So it gives you multiple ways. Let's say if you say that hey, I need a UI for the update customer, you had defined the data structure. So what it will do, it can generate a UI for you. You can review if it looks fine. Otherwise, you can also do the customizations. But it will definitely save you some time just to moving the fields here and there, but you don't have to write the code for everything. Right. It has the application servers and process modeling engine. So, if you have created some rules, if you have designed some process models, and to make it work faster, right, it captures their memory in different places. Like process model engine will have different from memory engine. Rule has different engines available, right? If you have some data stores and all that, uh, so divided the workflow. I mean, in the file system, like if you have uploaded any files, so it has a different memory allocation for the files on, right? So that makes it very faster if you want to search any rules, if you want to search any files and all, right? Right. Um, like any other applications, any other tool or language, it has three layers. Basically like the front end, the back end, and the data service layer. Uh, just like that, Appian also has the same because it's built on the Java. Just give me 1 minute, right? Someone's at my door. I'll be back in a minute. Sorry. All right. Okay. I mean, so personally, what I have understood that Appian is really very fast. If you want to design any application, you can do it within days. And then um, it also reduce the maintenance and development life cost effective things because scalable supports enterprise workloads. Um, Everything is one place. If you want to use the AI, it's there. If you want to use RPA, it's there at one place. You can simply, and they have used some smart services for that you can combine the workflow with your artificial intelligence, if your robotic process automations and the public intervention in one process model, you can do all other things. you know um, it's very easy to fetch the data from the third party and display it here, if and then send back the request response. Initially, it was very tough because you have to create the request body, the response body. You have to prepare the third-party connection with the middleware, and then get the data. It was also very time-consuming, but now it's very easy. You can simply configure your URLs, the security, and give the, if it is a post call, then give the inputs in the JSON format and all, right, and data will be very quickly retrieve or update to the exact location. Right. There are few objects that we use to develop this Appian. In the basic development cycle, you see that, right? Object type, it starts from the AI skills, connected system, constants, data store. So all these objects are useful to design your application. Few of them we will not be using, as I mentioned, for the AI skills, RPA and all, right. But apart from that, whatever is required to build an application, we will be using those objects to design it. The most powerful component in Appian is records. It can do most of the things in your applications. So that's a central data view point where you can combine. You can, as we were talking about the data fabrics, right? So you can connect the data from different places, different sources, and you can create a record for it. And internally in Appian, you can also combine the record based on the relationship. Just like, let's say, if you have a student and course table, right? And if you want to design a view that which students have what course, you need to merge you need to join the tables. Same concept you can do in the records without using the view, and it will be very faster. Right. Yeah, I mean, then Appian basically, works on um, the life cycle is like design, deploy, execute, monitor, and optimize. And you can do your deployment in very small chunks, right? It's definitely use the agile methodology, to do the development, and you can have your deployment and these. If, do you know that Amazon do the deployment in what's the deployment frequency of Amazon Amazon that what do we have this Amazon app, right? So how frequently they do the deployment?
I think within seconds.
So yes, I mean not seconds, but yeah, in every minute, almost in every minute they do the deployment, so that your application is keep up and running very fast, right? So same way, I mean, if you use the agile methodology, right, and the scalable agile, the main concept is that you need to do the deployment very quickly. You can't let the user wait for any issues, or you can't let the user for using any upgrades and all, right? So internal, if any big releases are there, definitely they introduce there's a big release. But if there are small releases, like some small changes or maybe some small bug fixes or something, like production issues and all, right, they do the deployment very frequent, within a minute. And that's agile is also is about, in Appian also you can quickly design your design your requirement, or maybe some production fixes, deploy it, execute it, and monitor, and if everything looks fine, optimize it. And it's like, within cycles it looks fine. Yeah, I mean, common use cases like customer onboarding, we have also talked about, right? The customer onboarding, loan application processing, incident case management, supply chain, compliance tracking. These are all the kinds of enterprise applications examples. Right. As I said, right, drag and drop and then heavy coding. If you need to go to with your Python, I'm not saying those are the bad things. Those are the evergreen things like Python and Java. But in terms of, like, when you talk about the speed and all, right, so Appian gives you a drag and drop. It's a very faster way of designing and developing a UI component. And if you go with the traditional, it will take time to all those things. It's a heavy coding that you have to do. And yes, if you know Python and Java, I would say that's the best thing that you can have. But the tool in terms of speed and all, right, this tool is giving you that thing. Yeah, faster deployment. Traditional takes long time here. So let's say I have 20 objects to be deployed to my high environment. What do you think? How much time it might take in Appian? If I want to deploy, let's say, 20 objects to the high environment that I have modified as part of some story, any guesses how much time it might take?
Minutes, maybe.
Yeah, within a minute you can do that. In 2 to 3 minutes, object will get deployed to your high environment unless there's no issues. Yeah, so that's how faster deployment Appian gives you, right? Integrations, as we talked about the integration, right? It's the object is there. You just have to do some configurations. What part, which API you want to integrate? Is there any configuration of security? They provide those details and then done. Do not have to do any other heavy coding for hitting the integration and bringing the data back, right? Because of all these things, right? Appian is also, cost of changes is low as terms of maintenance. You do not have to maintain a high code, and everything is there. So it's very low cost of change cost. Okay.
So what kind of JVM does Appian code runs?
Sorry, I didn't get you. What kind of?
JVM, application server.
Initially it was JBoss. Right now, I think that's Appian. JBoss is there. Yeah. Yes, right. Tomcat, Apache Tomcat is also there. If you whatever server you are using, right? Let's say if you want to track the issues, log files. So you need to go and for the Apache Tomcat, where you can find all your logs. If you have object details, your logging details. So all those details get captured in the Apache Tomcat. Okay. We will have a small demo of the applications. Before that, any other questions? And we'll talk about how do we log into the Appian server, how do we get your own practice environment. Okay, so let me share some dummy applications and how the Appian windows look like. Can you guys see my screen now?
Yes.
Can you see it? Yeah, thank you. So this is the Appian, enterprise edition that we are using for practice. That's given by the Appian, freely available by the Appian, where we can go and we create the applications and you can use it. And this view that you are seeing on the UI is the design view, and in the design view, who can you access the design view? The design view will be accessible by the developers, the system administrators. They can use the design view because they need to design the applications and all. For the end users, for the customers, right? They cannot access this page. So how do we restrict them? There is a two kind of user that we create in Appian. One is called a basic user, another is called system administrator. If you are a basic user, you will not be able to access the design view. You will only be able to access this tempo page where you can have the news, your task, if you have any task assigned to you, the list of records that you have access of, the reports that you have access of, and then actions that you can take, trigger. Let's say if you want to apply a new leave, right? Then you can go and you say apply leave. So this is the view that end user might be, not might be, they will be having the access based on their roles, and because this gives you the, if in your environment you have 20 applications, all 20 will be listed here. But let's say if you're part of only one, you will be able to see only one application. So that's the secretary level configuration we do in the backend. And this is the design view where all the developer will have the access to do the development. Okay. So what it gives you? It gives you the creating the new application. You can create a new application. Import and export has been disabled. Yeah, one more thing, in this practice environment, there are few things that are limited. The few things limited are like you cannot do the deployment, right? So for the deployment topic, we can talk about it. I can share some screenshot, but we cannot show you in this environment at how do you do the deployments. One more feature has been disabled, like admin console. Admin console basically allows you to create the users, to configure some security of your application environment, like what kind of files you want to you allow the people to upload and all, right? So all those configuration, like what is the first page you want to, whenever you log in, which first page you want to land, um, many other details like site configurations, or I mean, throughout the environment configurations, all those things you can do in this admin console. So that is being restricted here. You cannot access that page. But yeah, so what are the few topics are that we need to understand, but it's restricted here, right? I will share some old videos where we have defined everything, because initially it was allowed, but now they have not, they have restricted it because of lots of unnecessary data to be created, right? So you can create a new application. You can see all those. These all are the applications that have been created by Appian. Few of them I have created by myself, and I'm going to use that. Now this the tempo page was the traditional view. Now what Appian has come up with also, like not now, but it's being already, I would say, up to 7 to 8 years. They have come up with the concept of a site. The site is like, look and feel wise, you will see that you are using a web-based applications. So let's say for one of the example, if you see this navigation icon here, I can see, let's say this PTO portal. So this is a site of the leave management application that we have, PTO portal, where we can see, who are the employees that we have. If you want to apply the leave, you can go to here and you can, start. Just if you want to search for an employee for whom you want to apply the leave on behalf of him, you can go and search for the employee, um, and then select and go to the leave process, leave records that we have. If you want to have any data to be created and all, right, so updated, so you can have that. So you can create a site and you can have the site information specific to an application, that you can do that. Yes, so we will be creating an application. We will be seeing how the application will, what are the objects that we have, all those things we can create in Appian development, right? Right. That's what I had to talk, guys. If you have anything, please do ask. Do let me know. And we can continue. I'm open for the questions.
Yeah, hi.
Yeah, go ahead, please tell me.
Yeah, I have one question. I am from Pega background.
Mm-hmm.
I'm having an overall of 2.5 years experience in Pega in TCS.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, I am looking to switch. Because I'm in confusion right now. Is it the good thing to switch from Pega to Appian right now?
See, I won't say the Pega is bad, but right now market is more openly for Appian as compared to Pega. So yeah, I mean you can do that. Okay.
Can we get the same package? Because is Pega developer and Appian developer will get the same package, or is there any difference based on the experience? Yeah, okay.
Oh, so sorry, guys. There's some issue. My mom is not well. Can we have these questions now tomorrow? At the same time, if you have any question with the timing, please let the Sarita know about it, and then we can continue your questions. Any other questions if you have, I can
Yeah.
take it quickly. Yeah.
So will this be a weekend only? Sorry, weekday only, or weekend will be
No,
included?
it will be a weekdays classes. We can weekdays
So
classes.
Monday to Friday only. Okay.
Right, Monday to Friday.
And one quick question, what will be the
Yeah,
coverage
go
of the course in terms of certification? Like, will it cover Appian analyst or Appian developer L1, L2?
By using this training, you should be able to clear your level 1 at least at the minimum level. But if you have good hands-on practice, definitely you can go for the level 2. But there are some practice tests are available. I would suggest to go through that after completion the training, and then right. In terms of help of the questions, we can try it, because what happens right now, initially days, it was very easy because it was not a proctor exam. People was able to take a screenshot of the questions very easily, but now you will be on camera all the time. The proctor will be monitoring you all the time, right? So you cannot take the screenshot of questions and all, right? So what happens, some people appears on the exam, they remember some questions, they note it down, then we try to collect those questions and share with you all. Okay.
So in this course, you will cover the demo application and all.
We will be creating one application from start to end, one complete application where you can learn how the workflow works, how the UI and everything, all the processes being created out. Yeah. If you want, you can use the same as for your practice, or you can have something similar for your practice.
Okay, got it. Thank you, Ravi.
Okay. Any other questions, guys? No?
Yeah,
All
I
right.
have one doubt.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, Ravi, you told objects, but what is objects in Appian?
Objects. Objects
Yeah, yeah.
is like let's say if you want to design an interface, right? So you will use an interface object. If you design a workflow, you will use a process model object. If you design, so objects are the components that you will be using to develop your application. It's not objects of Java and all, okay? It's a component that you will be using to fulfill your requirement. Okay. For different purpose, there are different objects. For interface, we have interface object. For workflow, we have process model. For some set of rules coding, you have an expression rules. For some static value, you have constants. So all these are the objects which we use to design your applications. Okay. All right, guys. Then, if you have any concern with the timing and all right, please do let us know. Let Rita know, and then we can talk about. Tomorrow we will continue to the confusion. How do we set up our environment? We'll talk about the each and space objects that we will be using in Appian development. So we'll talk about in not in detail, but as a high level. And then whenever we will use those objects, we'll talk about in depth. Okay. And we'll set up the account environment for practice and all. Right.
Thank you, Ravi.
All right, then. Thank you, guys. Thank you, everyone. And thank you for joining. Thanks for your time. We hope to see you tomorrow, everyone. I have some issues at home. Let me take care of that, and then we can connect tomorrow. Okay. Thank you.
Sure.
Okay.
Thank
Thank you.